Fortnite is a co-op sandbox survival developed by Epic Games and People Can Fly and published by Epic Games. The game was released as a paid-for early access title for Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on the 25th of July. With a full free-to-play release expected in 2018, the retail versions of the game were published by Gearbox Publishing, while online distribution of the PC versions is handled by Epic's launcher. Fortnite is set in contemporary Earth, where the sudden appearance of a worldwide storm causes 98% of the world's population to disappear, and zombie-like creatures rise to attack the remainder. Considered by Epic as a cross between Minecraft and Left 4 Dead, Fortnite has up to 4 players cooperating on various missions in randomly generated maps to collect resources, build fortifications around defensive objects that are meant to help them fight the storm and protect survivors, and construct weapons and traps to engage in combat with waves of these creatures that attempt to destroy the objectives. Players gain rewards through these missions to improve the hero characters, support teams and arsenal of weapon, and trap schematics to be able to take on more difficult missions. This game is supported through microtransactions to purchase the in-game currency that can be used towards these upgrades. A standalone mode, Fortnite Battle Royale, based on the Battle Royale game genre but based on the core Fortnite gameplay, was released for the same platforms in September 2017.
Just not feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Overwatch is a team-based multiplayer first-person shooter video game that was developed by Blizzard Entertainment, which released on May 24, 2016 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Windows. Overwatch assigns players into 2 teams of 6, with each player selected from a roster of over 20 characters known as heroes, each with a unique style of play, whose roles are divided into 4 general categories: offense, defense, tank and support. Players on a team work together to secure and defend control points on a map or escort the payload across the map in a limited amount of time. Players gain cosmetic rewards that do not affect gameplay, such as character skins and victory poses as they play the game. The game was initially launched with casual play with a competitive rank mode, various arcade game modes and a player customizable server browser subsequently included following its release. Additionally, Blizzard has developed and added new characters, maps, game modes post-release, while stating that all Overwatch updates will remain free, with the only additional cost to players being microtransactions to earn additional cosmetic rewards. Overwatch is Blizzard's 4th major franchise and came about following the 2014 cancellation of the ambitious, massively multiplayer online role-playing game Titan. A portion of Titan team came up with the concept of Overwatch based on the successes of the team-based first-person shooters like Team Fortress 2 and the growing popularity of multiplayer online battle arenas. Creating a hero-based shooter that emphasised teamwork, some elements of Overwatch borrow assets and concepts from the cancelled Titan project. After establishing the narrative of an optimistic near-future Earth settling after global crisis, the developers aimed to create a diverse cast of heroes that span genders and ethnicities as a part of this setting. Significant time is spent adjusting the balance of characters, making sure that new players would still be able to have fun, while skilled players would present each other with a challenge. Overwatch was unveiled at BlizzCon 2014 in a fully playable state and was in a closed beta from late 2015 through early 2016. An open beta in May 2016 drew in nearly 10 million players. The release of the game was promoted with a short anime videos to introduce the game's narrative and each of the characters upon official release. Overwatch received universal acclaim from critics who praised the game for its accessibility, diverse appeal of its hero characters, bright cartoonish art style, and enjoyable gameplay. Blizzard reported over $1 billion in revenue during the first year of its release and had more than 40 million players playing after 2 years. Considered one of the best games released in 2016, the game received numerous accolades, including being awarded Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2016, DICE Awards, and Game Developers Choice Awards, as well as from numerous publications since its release. Overwatch has been recognized as an esport, with Blizzard helping to fund and produce professional leagues such as the Overwatch League.
Play of the game. Epic.
Impeccable.
FIFA 18 is a football simulation video game in the FIFA series of video games developed and published by Electronic Arts and was released worldwide on 29th of September 2017 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. It is the 25th installment in the FIFA series. Real Madrid forward Cristiano Ronaldo appears as the cover athlete of the regular edition. Ronaldo Nazario appears on the Icon edition of the game. FIFA 18 is the second installment in the series to use Frostbite 3 game engine. Although some versions of the game use different game engines, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions include a continuation of The Journey, the story-based mode that was originally in FIFA 17 entitled The Journey Hunter Returns. The PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions, known as FIFA 18 Legacy Edition, do not contain any of the new gameplay features aside from updated kits and squads. Bully is an action-adventure video game developed by Rockstar Vancouver and published by Rockstar Games. It was released on the 17th of October 2006 for a PlayStation 2. A remastered version of the game, subtitled Scholarship Edition, was developed by Mad Dog Software and was released on the 4th of March 2008 for Xbox 360 and Wii, and on the 21st of October 2008 for Microsoft Windows. Bully was re-released for PlayStation 4, available via PlayStation Network on the 22nd of March 2016. An updated version of the Scholarship Edition titled Anniversary Edition was developed by War Drum Studios and was released for Android and iOS on the 8th of December 2016. Set within the fictional town of Bulworth, the story follows a student and his efforts to rise through the ranks of the school system. The open world design lets the player freely roam Bulworth. The game is played from a third-person perspective and its world is navigated on foot, skateboard, scooter, bicycle or go-kart. Players control Jimmy Hopkins, a student who is involuntarily enrolled at Bulworth Academy. He discovers that the school is filled with bullies and becomes determined to bring peace, ultimately becoming more respected among the town groups. Jimmy is expected to attend class, which is a main gameplay asset. In the Scholarship Edition, a two-player competitive multiplayer mode lets two players compete for the highest score in different classes. Despite initial controversy for its expected violence and homosexual content, Bully received positive reviews with praise directed at the game's missions, narrative, and characters. The original version of Bully sold over 1.5 million copies and received multiple year-end accolades. Destiny 2 is an online-only multiplayer first-person shooter video game developed by Bungie and published by Activision. It was released for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on the 6th of September 2017, followed by a Microsoft Windows version the following month. It is a sequel to the 2014's Destiny and its subsequent expansion set in a mythic science fiction world. The game features a multiplayer shared world environment with elements of role-playing games such as live events. Players assume the role of a guardian, protectors of Earth's last safe city, as they wield a power called Light to protect the last city from different alien races. One of these races, the Cabal, led by the warlord Dominus Gaul, infiltrate the last city and all strips guardians of their light. The player sets out on a journey to regain the light and find a way to beat Gaul and his Red Legion army and take back the last city. Like the original, activities in Destiny 2 are divided among player versus environment (PvE) and player versus player (PvP) game types. In addition to normal story missions, PvE features 3-player strikes and 6-player raids. A free-roam patrol mode is also available for each planet and features public events as well as new activities not featured in the original. These activities have emphasis on exploration of the planet and interactions with non-player characters on the planets. The original Destiny only featured NPCs in social spaces. PvP features objective-based modes as well as traditional deathmatch game modes. All PvP game modes are 4 vs 4, a change from the previous installment which featured 6v6, 3 vs 3 and 2v2 variants. Like the original Destiny, the game features expansion packs which further the story and adds new content and missions. The first expansion, Curse of Osiris, released in December 2017, while a second, Warmind, released in May 2018. Upon release, Destiny 2 received generally favourable reviews from critics. The game received praise for its many improvements over its predecessor. The original Destiny received much criticism for its story, but Destiny 2 was praised as having a more robust story. An actual fleshed out villain. As with the original gameplay, for the most part, was also highly praised. Reviews were split on the recategorization of the weapons and the newer activities like the adventures and lost sectors. But praise was unanimous on the exploration of the game world. Changes to the PvP were welcomed by some reviewers. Though others were critical for the mode lacking player choice, Destiny 2 was nominated and won for various awards such as at the Game Awards 2017 and Game Critic Awards. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is a tactical shooter video game developed by Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft. It was released worldwide for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on December 2015. The game puts heavy emphasis on environmental destruction and cooperation between players. Players assume control of an attacker or an defender in different gameplay modes such as hostage rescuing and bomb defusing. The title has no campaign but features a series of short missions that can be played solo. These missions have a loose narrative focusing on recruits going through training to prepare them for the future encounters with the White Masks, a terrorist group that threatens the safety of the world. It is an entry in the Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six series and the successor to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Patriots, a tactical shooter that had a larger focus on narrative. However, Patriots was eventually cancelled due to its technical shortcomings, and the team decided to reboot the franchise. The team evaluated the core of the Rainbow Six franchise and believed that letting players impersonate the top counter-terrorist operatives around the world suited the game most. To create authentic siege situations, the team consulted actual counter-terrorism units and looked at real-life examples of sieges. Powered by Anvil Next 2.0, the game also utilizes Ubisoft's Real Blast technology to create destructible environments. Announced at Electronic Entertainment Expo 2014, it received 4 nominations from Game Critics Awards, including the Best Show. The game received a generally positive reception from critics, with praise mostly directed to the game's tense multiplayer and focus on tactics. However, the game was criticized for its progression system and its lack of content. Initial sales were weak, but the game's player base increased significantly as Ubisoft adopted a game-as-a-service model for the game. Subsequently released several packages of free downloadable content. The company also partnered with ASL to make a Siege an esports game. In April 2018, 2.5 years after the game's initial launch, the game surpassed 30 million registered players across all platforms. That is it for my documentary. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it.